You've heard of Egypt. You've heard of Rome. You've heard of Greece. But there was an empire in Africa, so powerful, so wealthy, so advanced, that it actually conquered Egypt. It controlled trade routes, stretching from the Mediterranean all the way to India. It built monuments that still stand today. It was mentioned in the Bible, in Roman records, in Greek texts, and yet, almost nobody knows its name. This is the story of Aksum, the empire that history forgot to teach you, and why that forgetting was anything but accidental. To understand Aksum, you need to understand geography. It's 100 AD. The Roman Empire is at its peak. India is booming with spice trade. Arabia is the crossroads of commerce. And right at the tip of the Horn of Africa, in what is today northern Ethiopia and Eritrea, sits the Aksumite Empire. Its location is no accident. Aksum controls the Red Sea trade routes, the ancient world's highway between Europe, Africa, and Asia. Every merchant ship carrying ivory, gold, silk, and spices has to pass through Aksumite waters. The Aksumites don't just watch this trade. They tax it, control it, dominate it. Their capital city, also called Aksum, is one of the most cosmopolitan cities on earth. Merchants from Rome, Persia, India, and Arabia all walk its streets. The Roman emperor himself refers to the Aksumite king as one of the 4 greatest rulers in the world, alongside the Roman emperor, the Persian king, and the Chinese emperor. 4 greatest rulers in the world, and one of them is African. Let that sink in. But here's the part that really should be in every history textbook. In 350 AD, the Aksumite king Ezana does something almost nobody talks about. He invades and conquers the kingdom of Kush, Aksum's powerful neighbor to the north. And in doing so, he takes control of Upper Egypt, an African empire, conquering and controlling Egyptian territory. At the same time, Aksum is going through a transformation that will change the entire continent. King Ezana converts to Christianity, not because of European missionaries, not because of Roman pressure, because of 2 young Syrian shipwreck survivors who washed up on the Aksumite coast and became advisors to the king. Aksum becomes one of the first Christian kingdoms in the world, before most of Europe had even converted. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church, one of the oldest Christian institutions on earth, traces its roots directly to this moment. And yet, when people talk about the spread of Christianity, they almost always start with Rome, not Aksum.
Walk through the city of Aksum today and you'll find something extraordinary. Obelisks, massive, towering stone monuments carved with incredible precision, some over 24 meters tall. They were built without modern machinery, without cranes, without computers, just human ingenuity, organization and skill. One of these obelisks was stolen by Mussolini's Italy in 1937, taken as a war trophy after Italy invaded Ethiopia. It sat in Rome for 68 years before international pressure finally forced Italy to return it in 2005. Think about that, a monument stolen from Africa, sitting in Europe for nearly 70 years, returned only after decades of diplomatic pressure. The obelisk is back in Aksum now, but the story of how it got to Rome, and why it took so long to come home, says everything about how the world has treated African history. As something to be taken, studied, displayed, but rarely taught.
Why does it still matter today? The Aksumite Empire declined around 700 AD. It was weakened by climate change and the rise of Islam. This disrupted trade routes, along with internal conflicts. Ethiopia stands unique as the only African nation never colonized by Europe, a proud resistance rooted in centuries of imperial tradition, going back to Aksum. When Italy tried to colonize Ethiopia in 1896, the Ethiopians defeated them at the Battle of Adwa, the first time an African nation defeated a European power. That victory was possible because Ethiopia had never forgotten what it was: an empire, a civilization, a power. Aksum didn't just build obelisks and trade routes. It built an identity that survived 1,700 years of history. And here's the question I want to leave you with. If Aksum is this significant, this powerful, this historically important, Why isn't it in every history textbook alongside Egypt and Rome? Who decides which civilizations get remembered? And who decided yours wasn't one of them? That's the thread, and we're just getting started. Exists today as a city in northern Ethiopia. The obelisks still stand. The ancient churches still hold services. A living civilization, a breathing history, one that the world almost forgot to tell you about. If this video changed how you see African history and world history, subscribe. Because next week we're pulling on another thread that your textbooks left hanging. I'll see you in the next thread.